Hey everybody, welcome back. Joel Rico here with the language of agreement. And today I just wanted to give you a really easy structure on how to clean up a misunderstanding. It happens. It happens all the time. It happens to the best of us. It happens to me. I sometimes misunderstand what somebody was trying to tell me. Sometimes other people misunderstand what I'm trying to tell them. It happens. So what do we do about that? Well, in my completely biased, not so humble opinion, I think the easiest way to take this on is with one caveat. And that caveat is to simply realize that the only measure of any communication is in the response that you receive. For example, I can be saying something that I think is nice. I think I'm being helpful. I think I'm being beneficial. I think I'm making a difference for somebody, and yet it hurts their feelings. So does what I just said, was it helpful or was it hurtful? Well, if my intention was that it's helpful, but yet it showed up hurtful, who gets to decide if what I said was helpful or hurtful? Well, they do, the listener does. So really the listener gets to grade the communication. So remember, the measure of your communication is only, or the reality of your communication is only measured by the response that we receive. So knowing that regardless of what I say, it only matters what lands. It only matters how it's interpreted. So that kind of empowers me to take responsibility. So the easiest way to clean up a misunderstanding, I believe, is apologize, straighten it out, right? It wasn't my intention to hurt their feelings. So, when I take responsibility for how my communication lands, not just my intention, but how it actually lands, right? Much bigger responsibility for me. So I'm just going to walk you through like a basic apology structure. So that might sound like 4 really easy steps. Step 1 is apologize, right? Really simple. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I apologize for hurting your feelings. I didn't mean to bring up a sensitive subject. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, whatever that was. Just take responsibility. That's step 1. You're halfway home. So take responsibility for whatever havoc I created. I'm so sorry for, bringing up that topic. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Step 2 is acknowledge the impact. Acknowledge the impact. So that might sound like, so I'm so sorry for bringing up that subject. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Step 1. Step 2, acknowledge the impact. That might be something like, yeah, I realize that this might have upset you. You might now be hesitant to speak to me. You might think that I have ulterior motives. I realize that this might have gotten in the way of our friendship. This might have gotten in the way of our transaction, right? Acknowledge the potential impact that misunderstanding could have on this relationship. Easy. And then step 3 is, what's step 3? Is to restate my commitment, right? So repurpose my commitment, restate my commitment. So step 3 is what I'm really committed to. Is I'm committed that you and I have a great relationship and that we can continue to speak freely and say anything we want to each other. I'm committed that we have this open dialogue. I'm committed that, if you hurt my feelings, I'll speak up. And if I hurt your feelings, you'll speak up. And that, I'm just remain committed that we continue to clear up any misunderstandings. So, we put the relationship first, right? That's it. Restate, repurpose, represence what I'm committed to. And then step 4 is to simply ask for forgiveness. So can you forgive me for this? Can we move forward? Can we straighten this out? Can we start over again? Can we sit down and have coffee and work out a solution? Now, don't tell them, ask them, right? So one more time from the top. When something goes sideways and there's some kind of misunderstanding, step 1 is take responsibility for it, right? Whatever it was that I said, my intentions aside, it didn't land well. And so they get to decide if their feelings are hurt. They get to decide if they think I was being rude or crass or unfeeling, whatever. They get to decide. So simply take responsibility for it and then clean it up. So how do we clean that up? Number one, apologize. I'm so sorry I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to bring that up. I didn't mean to, sound pushy. I didn't mean to sound uncaring. That wasn't my intention. I'm so sorry for hurting your feelings. Whatever is authentic. Step two, acknowledge the impact. And that might sound like, and I realize that this might make you a little gun shy to be around me. I realize that this might put our transaction in jeopardy. I realize that this might have damaged the trust between us. Whatever, acknowledge the potential impact, right? Step three, re-presence my commitment. What I'm committed to is that you and I have this amazing relationship that we can say anything, and when one of us screws it up, that we can clean it up and clear it up, and hopefully solving these misunderstandings will make our relationship even better. Right? What I'm committed to is us. What I'm committed to is this. What I'm committed to is having an open dialogue. What I'm committed to is making a difference for you, even when I, say the wrong thing, whatever. Step four, ask them to step forward. Step four is, will you forgive me? Will you give me another chance? Can we sit down and work this out? Can we meet for coffee and talk about a new solution? Are you willing to dialogue with me? Are you open to finding another solution? Right? That's it. So I know this might sound like a little bit of an overkill for a little misunderstanding, and you might not need the whole thing. Simply taking responsibility for it might be enough, right? You have a little misunderstanding, you go, oh, I'm sorry. Wow, that was my fault. I didn't mean to say blah, blah, blah. And if it's a little tiny thing, you might not need all 4 steps. If it's a big thing, you really hurt somebody's feelings, I recommend that you do all these 4 steps because it really clears the air. It acknowledges the potential impact, right? So people's fears get carried away. And, oh my God, what if he doesn't love me? And what if, our deal falls apart? And right? So I want to acknowledge those impacts. And then I want to re-presence what I'm committed to, right? That restates, what are we up to? What are we doing? Who am I in this relationship? Who am I in this transaction? And then lastly, I don't want to strong arm them. I don't want to force them into anything. I want to make a request. Are you willing to give me another shot? Are you willing to sit down and help work out a solution? Are you willing to, right? I want to invite them in for that solution. So there it is in 5 minutes. This and many, many other tools and techniques and linguistic structures are really some of the foundations of the language of agreement training. My intention in that training is to help people, predominantly salespeople, is to help people learn a style of communicating that's really effective, where your point gets across, where you have a minimum number of misunderstandings, and where we have what I like to call resistance-free sales, right? I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue with anybody. I want to solve the problem. I want to come up with a solution that works. I want win-win agreements. And the whole structure of the language of agreement is speaking agreements into place. So everybody agrees and there's no arguments, there's no fighting, and everybody's happy and we all high five at the end. So if you haven't already done so, please go check out the website, which is thelanguageofagreement.com. There's some free trainings and some videos and some downloads and some bunch of free stuff on there. And if you're interested to take your business to the next level, then consider jumping into the 12-week live, real participatory, hands-on teletraining. Our next one starts in about 4 weeks, which is June 14. And I think for what we are offering, it's less than a month of one-on-one coaching with any of the big guys. And we have lots of people that come through the training that double, triple, quadruple their close ratio. So let that sink in. Quadruple your close ratio. What would that be worth? So that's it. Check out the website, thelanguageofagreement.com. Thanks for listening. That's it. Have an awesome week. And as usual, go make a difference in the world. See you next time, everybody.